1, 2, 3, go! Good morning. It's a Tuesday. Oh my God, it is actually really snowing.
Yeah, snow is happening.
It's happening. It's happening. We are here once again. We're coming into the final films of our top 10 cult films list project.
Yep, last two.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The quintessential cult film, some might say.
Yeah, I have some thoughts.
Please, this is what we're here for.
I don't know if it's too early to get into this, but I feel like this is much more part of mainstream culture in the UK than it is here. I think that's what I'm struggling with.
Mm-hmm. You have been struggling with this film.
I've just been trying to form my thoughts a bit more about it because, you know, it's something that's always been part of my life. It's not these other films, like, I can pinpoint a moment where I heard about them. I can probably pinpoint the first time I watched them in a lot of cases. This one was just always part of the zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
And like I get that in some way that it's probably shocking for its time, but it's never felt. That's what I'm having trouble with. It's never felt that outlandish to me. I mean, like, I went to a Church of England high school, which, you know, Church of England is a very half-hearted religion. It's not the same as going to a Catholic high school, but it was still a church high school. And every year, the sixth formers, which is like the 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds, would put on, amongst other things, a lip sync competition as part of fundraising. And some kids in my year did, I'm pretty sure, Time Warp, one of the songs from Rocky Horror, in the costumes at lunchtime in a church school, and nobody blinked about it.
I mean, I think Time Warp is maybe a little bit different because
somebody was definitely only wearing gold hot pants. Like, they did it.
Good for them. They committed.
But to the best of my knowledge, no one got reprimanded for that. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, like, because it's always been normalized for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take myself out of that a little bit to look at the film afresh. I mean, I hadn't seen it for years. I honestly don't know the last time I saw it. So we watched it the other night. It's on Hulu right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was how I remembered it, in that I'm pretty on board for it until the last third, and I just get very bored.
Yeah, and I agree. I think I really enjoyed this film. I still do. I did when we watched it the other day. I find it cheeky and delightful.
I'm saying, I did. To be clear, I did enjoy it. I 100% enjoyed it.
But the last 30 minutes of the movie really just bring the whole thing down.
Yeah.
You know, the floor show really goes on for a bit more. It wears out its welcome.
Yeah, and it just
and it doesn't tread any new territory that hasn't been just nailed on the head through the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen the stage version. I don't know how much it differed, because this just felt like
someone's knocking on the door. Oh. Masking up to answer the door. It's the right thing to do. BRB.
To me, it felt like they had made the set for the end, so they had to go with it. Because it was excessive. Yeah, now I'm gonna talk about this by myself in this room. I think that Tim Curry, we were talking about this last night, Tim Curry 100% makes the film. If anybody else had that role, if anybody hadn't gone into it with so much gusto, I don't think it would have worked. And I think that he originated the role in the stage production as well, which makes sense. A bunch of these people were in stage productions. It's actually where Meatloaf came from. His random appearance in this movie, I guess he wasn't a thing yet, but he had been in an LA production of it. But I would say like Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon basically sell the movie.
Hello.
Hello.
I have returned.
Back. I was just saying that to me, Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon make this movie.
Yeah, agreed.
And to a lesser extent, the actor whose name I can't remember, who's the narrator.
Yeah, he's quite good as well. I mean,
also known as the Bond villain Blofeld from a couple of Bond movies.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far you've gotten into this yet, but I remember seeing this movie again. I also don't remember the first time I saw it. It might have been one of those movies that like my mom insisted that I watch at far too young of an age. But and when we watched it the other day, it's like I realize this is probably a common reaction, but like Tim Curry's first appearance, his like entrance was like I was instantly charmed and like just amazed by this character, which was both confusing and enlightening for me at a young age. But, and you had said, like, I think that's the point. That's like the point of his character is to be like relentlessly like sexy and charming and like.
Yeah, he is a little aggressive, but he's not really aggressive. It's more, he's just basically on the verge of orgasm at any given moment.
But like this
looking for a vessel.
He like brings them into the lab and like strips them down. They're just like in their underwear in the lab. And, he's asking Brad if he has any tattoos, and Brad's like, no, of course not. And then he goes to Jen and like, well, how about you? And she's like, no, oh my God, I don't know. It's like, that would be me. That would be, this should just like helplessly giggle at everything just because of the like, just the flirtatiousness and like the confidence.
Yes.
The like utmost confidence that Frankenfooter has as just like an entity is impressive. But also I do think Janet is incredible. Susan Sarandon as Janet is so good.
It might be her greatest role.
It might. I mean, she's so good in it, and she plays it with both the like seriousness and the right amount of like campiness.
Yes. Yeah.
Mwah. Perfect. It's perfect. So I think I would agree. Those are two of the standout performances. But, the thing we had noticed about this movie, too, was that it was kind of just like everybody is just horny for everybody the whole movie.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we got into a little bit last night about what the degree to which this is a queer movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, like, on a very basic level, everybody's fucking everybody, and he does make a living sex doll.
Yes.
And that living sex doll is a man. There's something about how normalized it is that it almost doesn't read queer to me. I know that sounds crazy.
Well, I don't think because when I had kind of first seen it too, and the first few times I had watched it, it also that wasn't the top billing of all of the weird things that this movie is. Like it being a queer film was maybe like 4 or 5,
Yeah.
It's like we were saying it covers so many genres. It's a horror film for like old timey horror film nerds. It's like a campy 50s like teenage romp. It's a sci-fi movie. It's a fucking musical. It's a ridiculous theater production. Like it's many, many, many things. the like queerness of it, I don't think it gets like lost in the shuffle, but it's just like one piece of all of the other weird shit that's happening in this movie.
Yeah, and it's like a weird thing around it because to me, it's obviously very camp, but to me, it reads more like theatre people camp
Mm-hmm.
than necessarily queer camp,
Mm-hmm.
which is a subgenre. Theatre people camp is a subgenre. Because so it was written by Richard O'Brien, who plays Riff Raff, and it was a stage show, I think in a very small theatre, and then got a lot of attention. I think the cast recording got released as an album, and then the film happened, and the film was produced by Lou Adler, who's like a legendary record producer. But Richard O'Brien does not identify as queer. He's weird,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not queer. But he has said some interesting and at times troubling things about gender identity. I mean, he way back had sort of said that maybe his gender identity was not as straightforward as he had originally thought.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also said some just wrong things about trans people. So that's all unfortunate. And Tim Curry, I believe, has never made a statement one way or the other. So there's this weird, like, buttoned up British thing in the middle of it. And because the thing is, for 2/3 of the movie, everybody's having sex with everybody. But then Frank-N-Furter gets killed.
Yeah.
Because he was having sex with everybody.
Right. He diverted from the mission.
Whatever his mission was.
Which is never
Which we don't
clear
know.
what his mission is, but Riff Raff, who was Richard Burton.
O'Brien.
Richard O'Brien. Richard Burton.
Richard Burton.
Wow. But you know, he is the one that comes in and is like, you strayed from the path.
Yeah.
You were not loyal to the mission. We're gonna kill you now. And then he has that big scene at the end where they're like, they never liked me. No one likes me.
Yeah.
Like, that's all very weird. So you know, I think wrapped up in there somewhere is perhaps some personal conflict.
Yeah, I think it might be an entire movie about Richard O'Brien's internal conflict.
But you know, I think it's still an incredible film. It's an anomaly. I don't know that there has been another film quite like it.
No, although Richard O'Brien also has a small role in Flash Gordon, and I would put that in a similar sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Although Flash Gordon A isn't a musical, and B isn't necessarily as in on the joke as Rocky Horror.
Right. Yeah. But we should probably get to our song.
We'll be back on Thursday, where we'll be playing a song that we've written about Rocky Horror, which is a weird challenge to write a song about a musical.
Mm-hmm.
And we can take a little bit of a deep dive on Richard O'Brien's post-Rocky Horror career as a game show host, because he was a very important part of my childhood.
So make sure you tune in for that, because we are we're winding down. We only have 2 more films to go after this.
No, we've got 1 more film to go after this.
We have 2?
It's just Spinal Tap after this.
There's 1 more.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's why I was saying.
Well.
Yeah.
All right then. So we are going to play one of our newer unreleased / unrecorded songs called Lesbian Space Drama, because it felt like the right thing to play for our Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be back on Thursday. Ready?
I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I turned it down.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not a matter of wrong or right. This is a question of pride. You left my orbit on that 9:30 flight. Out of sight, out of mind. Didn't notice I wouldn't care. Oh no, you know me better than that. You notice next time you're there, space is nowhere to hide. Now you're a one-line cover. Every newspaper stand. And if you didn't want the world to know, why were you holding her hand? Have a good lawyer, be a good friend to help you get through this song. I am resplendent, and I intend to make you pay for this song. Didn't notice you don't care, oh no, you never cared about me. Now you notice, and now you see, you underestimate me. Now you're a one-time cover, every newspaper stand. And if you didn't want the world to know, why were you holding her hand? Now you're a one-time girlfriend, every newspaper stand. And if you didn't want the world to know, why were you holding her hand? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What was that?
That was my phone.
All right.
Hey everybody, we will see you on Thursday.
Bye.